When 2 of Abdullahi Bule Khairo's children died of hunger and thirst, he says he was left with no choice. He abandoned the only life he's ever known as a nomadic herder. He says he was caught between the armed group Al-Shabaab and worsening drought. Most of his goats and cows perished. He told us he left the last animals to die and walked with his surviving daughter, Fardosa, for 3 weeks to reach here, a camp for displaced people in the port city of Kismayo in Somalia.
My wife lost her mind with grief. That was after we were unable to get food for our children. The last I heard, she tried to walk to Mogadishu. I don't have the strength to look for her. I don't have shelter. I don't have anything to eat. I have nothing.
Abdullahi and Fardosa have joined thousands of people already in this camp. Many of them lost their animals in previous droughts and haven't been able to restock their herds. More than half of Somalis depend on herding. Livestock turn dry scrub into milk and meat that people have survived on for thousands of years. But the droughts are becoming more frequent and worse. So the camps in cities like Kismayo grow bigger. Many of the people here may never go back.
It's getting harder and harder for people to survive in the countryside, but there's another food source here, the fish in the sea. And there are many decades of conflict and piracy have prevented industrial fishing. And unlike many other parts of the world, the seas here haven't been overfished.
Abdullahi Muhammad says he would never have dreamt of eating fish when he was a herder. Then his sheep and goats were wiped out in a drought 5 years ago. He says he then struggled to survive in a camp in Kismayo until the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization bought him a boat and trained him to fish.
There's a big difference. As a livestock keeper, life is always about struggling with drought and trying to recover from it. To fish in the ocean, you have to learn many things. The ocean itself is like a university. You need to study how it works.
Abdullahi spent years learning and says he can now get a good catch 5 days a week. He says the money he earns is enough to pay school fees for his children. The UN says many more people could be helped in the same way.
The IDP crisis is also becoming an urbanization crisis, and it requires a more durable solution by supporting the fisheries sector, which has a huge potential where they can diversify and improve their food security, livelihood and nutrition as well.
It's not clear how the millions of Somalis in the countryside will survive in a warmer world or what they'll eat. Maybe Somalia's 3,000-kilometre coastline and its fish can help. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera, Kismayo, Somalia.